Welcome to yet another sales kickoff. Today is the day that we all come together to celebrate our collective wins of 2021 and our top global performers. We're looking forward to sharing with you all that we're going to focus on in 2022 and beyond to help millions of businesses grow better. So, by way of a brief agenda, we're going to talk about 2021 and some of the success that we've seen. The best part, Christian and I will be going over some of the awards for our top global performers. Christian's going to take us through a deeper look at our 3-year sales strategy. We're going to talk about our 2022 plays and how we're investing in you and your success. And then finally, Christian's going to take us home with closing thoughts. So first, want to say congratulations on a truly exceptional, incredible year. We truly had a banner year with all-time high, record-setting growth. We know what it takes for all of you to achieve what you did last year, from curating your capacity to understanding good fits, to all of the product knowledge that you need to have, to listening to our customers intently, knowing how to respond to their challenges with solutions, training our partners, influencing MER across the entire business. And then, of course, not only do you help our customers get better, but you help HubSpot get better as well. So don't just take it from me. Let's hear from a few of our customers and their thoughts about HubSpot.
My name is Bob Joseph. I'm an Indigenous person from Canada, British Columbia specifically. I just want to say HubSpot has been such an important part of what we do here. The work that I do is important to me. I think of it as cause marketing. I'm trying to actually change the world for Indigenous peoples in Canada, given some of their past experiences. And so the blogging, the amplification, the CRM management, the download ebook stuff, the videos. I mean, HubSpot really has given us a chance to become a part of the national conversation. We published a best-selling book, 21 Things You May Not Know About the Indian Act, which actually started as a blog post on HubSpot. It had 50,000 visitors from Facebook alone came in to just look at that article, and we decided to publish a book. It's been on the national bestseller list for 3 years, over 3 years now, and HubSpot really gave us that opportunity with all of the teachings, the centralized platform around the CRM, the speed, the scalability has taken us from a small, successful business to a really hyper-successful business. I think, honestly, I never thought we'd get this far. And I think we're only just beginning. We are starting to lay the seeds of, some really cool stuff becoming 10 or 15 or 20 times bigger, because Canada has committed to reconciliation with Indigenous peoples. And we're, I think a part of that whole national conversation. So I just want to say, thanks for all of the hard work and giving us the opportunity to continue to move forward and to grow. And I'm just looking forward to, the next 5, 10, 20 years. So really, just can't say thank you enough.
My name is Neil. I'm one of the directors and co-founders at Quattro. So we're an elite HubSpot partner, and this is our story. So back in 2015, my wife and I worked at separate companies. She worked in sales, I worked in marketing. And then out of the blue one day, I got a phone call from Steve Vaughan. He tried to convince me to bring HubSpot to the agency. And I thought it was a great idea. So I took it to the board and I suggested that we go down the HubSpot partnership route. But I got quite a lot of resistance, and I tried, and we got nowhere. And in the end, they said, we're not going to go down the HubSpot partner route. Instead, we're going to go down the telemarketing route. Now, I didn't agree with that. And it was at a time when Joy and I had young kids, trying to plan our future. And you're obviously thinking, what does the next 10 years hold? And I could see the agency I was at starting to tank a little bit. And telemarketing for me was completely the wrong direction. So Joy and I got chatting one evening and we said, and I was explaining about HubSpot, and she said, well, why don't we just do it ourselves? So anyway, cut a long story short, went back into the office. Steve phoned on a Wednesday and said, what do you think about this partnership idea? And I said, actually, Steve, can you call me back on Thursday, but call me back on this number instead? So Steve called and I said, look, we're going to do this ourselves. We're going to set up our own business. We're going to remortgage the house. And we're just going to go for it. And the whole concept of becoming a partner became more and more real, to the point where he said, we were thinking about buying a HubSpot starter license, and there was this pivotal moment in the conversation. And he said, Are you in on HubSpot, or are you all in on HubSpot? And we kind of looked at each other and thought, actually, we're all in on HubSpot. And it was at that point we signed up and literally just said, right, we're going to be an exclusive HubSpot partner. Sold 3 licenses within the first month. And then the agency started to grow. Some of the people who I used to work with joined us in the agency. So Joy, she left her job first and built the business up. Then I left a year later. So in 2016, that's where it really kind of hit off. And we went from silver to gold. Then the next year from gold to platinum. Then shortly after that, we hit diamond. And earlier this year, we hit elite. You know, we're now working for ourselves. We're in charge of our own future. But also we're actually doing something that has a future. We wanted to innovate, we wanted new tech, we wanted to get involved in the technical details, and that's what Quattro does. And I think the big thing for us was making it exclusive. You know, that day when Steve said, are you in on HubSpot or are you all in on HubSpot? I think that sticks in my mind because we said we're all in and we've been an exclusive HubSpot partner since. We don't partner with any other platform, we just storm ahead with HubSpot, and it's been great. I love it now as much as I did when I started. Enjoy is exactly the same. 2022 is going to be a great year with HubSpot. I know I'm looking forward to it.
My name is Devin Bellamy. So I've been doing marketing since I decided to start creating websites, which was back in '94. Like I remember my first real job was at McDonald's, and I noticed that McDonald's knew what hamburgers were coming out like 6 months before the hamburgers came out. And then when they finally launched that campaign, they had all of the wrappers looking exactly the same as all of the bags, and all the commercials sounded the same. And I didn't know anything about brand continuity at the time. I was like 15, but it was like being able to reverse engineer that. The game changer for me was the HubSpot Academy. Being able to go through the HubSpot Academy and find out, one, that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. There's actually a word for it. It's called inbound marketing. And on top of that, being able to articulate to a point where I can go to my boss and ask for a budget and then execute on the budget and then completely crush my entire year's KPIs in the first quarter just by doing all the stuff that I saw in the HubSpot Academy. HubSpot has completely changed my life. It has significantly increased my earning potential and my abilities as a marketer. And the HubSpot product expertise combined with years of just studying marketing and being a student of the game has completely, well, we'll just say it's quintupled my earning potential. I'll leave it at that. HubSpot is a life-changing product. No matter whether you're working at the company and you're becoming a better person, because we focus so much on that with being heart-driven. And then on the other side, if you use the tools correctly, it's going to change the game for you. HubSpot is like Superman.
Oh my gosh, Devin, every time it's just like, it gets me. And Neil too. Are you in on HubSpot or are you all in on HubSpot? I love it. So let's just take a quick look back at where we were this time last year when we took a look at our growth projections for the next decade or so. So as you heard Yamini say, we're really in this rarefied air. When you take a look at our growth, especially being $1 billion company, it really is rather unprecedented. So last year, when we took a look at our 10-year projections, we really thought that we would exit 2023 at about $2 billion in revenue, and we were looking out to 2032 at about $10 billion in revenue. Thanks to all of you and your remarkable execution, we've had to change those expectations. We've now updated our growth projections to 2028 being at 10 billion in revenue, 2025 being at 5 billion. As you know, we just exited 2021 at $1.5 billion, and we have 2 billion on the horizon in 2023. We're going to continue to build elegant product, be a global sales team that books are written about, and be the #1 CRM for scaling businesses. So thank you. You are the reason for this acceleration. You put our customers first. You push us to be a better company and sales organization. You operate with heart, just as you heard Evan say. We just exude heart, and you make us a better sales team who solves for the customer. So thank you for all the work that you do. So all of this growth means that we have more opportunity to invest back in you all to make you more efficient so that you can put in less effort with better results. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that in just a bit. But before that, let's take a look at our 2021 success and actually quantify what our outcomes look like. From a performance perspective, it was just an absolutely unprecedented year. We had 47% year-over-year growth. As you see, 81% on our net new ARR. That's just unbelievable, especially for a billion-dollar company. And then we skyrocketed to 135,000 customers. That is just absolutely unbelievable, the work that you've all done. Let's not forget, though, one of the biggest highlights of last year was growing the number of superstars that we had at Inbound at over 100%. I don't know about you, but I am an Oprah fangirl, and I still can't get over the fact that we had her at Inbound. It's pretty incredible. So if we take a look at rep-driven performance, this is one of the areas that I'm really, truly the most proud of. Our marketing team fueled us with a 22% growth in our overall QL demand. Look at that, 379,000 QLs that they delivered to the sales organization. Incredible. All of you executed with our motion up market to bring more value to our customers with an average deal size of $917, which was 17% increase year over year. And if we take a look at one of the stats that I really am most proud of, it is our overall rep attainment, 124% year over year. That's just absolutely incredible. So taking a look at some of our people stats, we had over 655 new hires. And for those of you who started this year, welcome, welcome, welcome. We promoted 44 people into manager positions. And of those, 38 went from a rep to a manager role. We had 231 upmarket promotions, reps who moved from one segment to another, and a total of 794 inline promotions. One of my favorite stats, and you're going to hear even more about this later, is we gave over $60 million in RSU to the sales organization. More to come on that. Oh, sorry, just getting my slides. They're a little messed up here. Okay, this is one of my favorite people awards across the board. I'm not sure if many of you know this, but Denver is actually our unofficial North America headquarters, as we've seen a lot of people across the United States decide to go remote first, and they've moved to the Denver office. Yamini, as you know, had the most promotions to CEO. Big shout out to Annalisa Spector, who is a manager on our Canadian-based small business team. Most Gong comments 2 years in a row. Melanie Morgan, you had the most shout outs of any rep with the largest deal in the history of HubSpot with Avis and Young. Gregor, huge Hasselhoff fan, way to go. Singapore, most days of summer, 365. And Barcelona as the new Doc HQ. So just big congratulations for all of the movement we've seen and all of you making HubSpot better. So I think this is my favorite part, and I made a little bit of a mention of this when we were in Flywheel Kickoff. The part for me that makes me most excited about 2022 and beyond is because of the exceptional growth and execution that you all have provided, it allows us to create even more opportunities for you. We truly want HubSpot to be the place that you grow your careers long term. And there's a lot of different ways that you can do that. One is if you want to be an individual contributor. We've seen an incredible path for many of our reps going from BDR to small business to mid-market to corp. If you're interested in leadership opportunity, you've seen how many people we've promoted from rep to manager, even manager to director and beyond. And then we've seen a lot of people also move from a cross-functional perspective, from sales to marketing to enablement to our sales strategy team. There is nothing but opportunity here at HubSpot, And I hope you know how much we really want to invest in you. So once more, thank you for all of your incredible work, for making us the best company to work for on the planet, and just making our sales organization a truly, truly special place to be. Now, for the most exciting part of Sales Kickoff, the one I know so many of you are waiting for, I'm excited to present alongside Christian our Global Sales Awards for 2021. Christian, over to you.
So thanks, Michelle. Thank you so much indeed. Happy Sales Kickoff, everybody. Hope you enjoyed Flywheel Kickoff. We've got so much more detail to go through here. This is both of our favorite part of the day. I think it's phenomenal, the people we have in our teams and the performance Michelle's just outlined. To get on the next set of slides, if you're the best of the best of the best. So congrats in advance to everybody here. We've got 4 different awards to talk through this year. We have the heavy hitters, we have Founders Club, we have P Club, and a mystery 4th award section that I'm going to reveal at the end. So hopefully I'm coming across a little mysterious. That's the plan here. But maybe let's start up with the Heavy Hitters Award. And many of you know, if you've been here for some time, this was originated by Brian Halligan. And Brian had this award in a company way back when he was starting out in sales. And it is, as it suggests, it's the person who posts the biggest number. So if you're a sales role for a GS or CAM, for BDRs, for pre-sales, if you're posting the biggest MRR number in your segment, you're in with a shout of hitting the heavy hitters number. And then for managers, there's a balanced scorecard in here as well. So without further ado, let's reveal the winners. So first up, North America sales reps. We have got 4 winners. Congratulations, Tori, Evan, Melanie, and Julie, Heavy Hitters 2021. Congratulations. Next up, we have EMEA. We've got Ben, Adib, Ian, and Daniele. Again, huge congrats to the 4 of you as our EMEA winners. We've got some APAC folks in here too. So 3 from APAC, Camilo, Fancy, and Kieran. Congratulations to them as well. And we have LATAM folks and Global. We've got Nick, Chris, and Alejandro as our winners on this slide. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. And BDRs, we have some rockstar BDRs in here too. We've got Bridget, Jurgen, Juan, and Chaz. Congratulations, folks. Brilliant stuff. And you're probably all seeing the slide that I can't. There we go. It's sales managers and pre-sales. Last but not least, by any manner of means, Francesco, Francisca, Emma, and Alexis. Huge congrats, folks. Brilliant, brilliant stuff to all our heavy hitter winners for 2021. Back to you, Michelle.
Awesome. Thank you, Christian. So I have the good fortune of sharing the winners of the Cream of the Crop Award. I mean, this one is our sellers who really deliver the most MRR and ARR for the company. As many of you know, we had 3 different targets for direct CAM and strategic CAMs to hit in 2021. So without further ado, on our corporate team, Melanie, Matt, Ian, Tim, and Chan. On the SP team, we have Chris, Julie, Sophie, Kim, Samantha, Kevin, Michael, Eric, Kieran, Laura, Tom. Continuing on with SP, Simona, Steve, Caleb, Daniele, Connor, Daniel, Tomas, Georg, David, Mart, and Louis. Even more SP. What a banner year. Thomas, Eamon, Marco, Emma, Roman, Nick, Bruno, Alan, Pratik, Nathan, and Joaquin. Our small business winners. This is not an easy award for small business reps to achieve. So congrats to you all. Tori again, Rob, Ben, Cathal, Carl, Frederick, and Lucy. Mid-market and direct teams. There's a whole bunch here. These are definitely our heavy hitters. Adib, Mackenzie, Evan, Sarah, James, Eddie, Calvin, Luke, Mike Zielinski. We also have Andrew, Richie, Diego, Andres, Daniel, Brandon, and Mark. And continuing on, we have Lauren, Jermund, Adam, Guy, Rudy, Cameo, Brendan, and Thomas. Next up, President's Club. This is the award that I always want to win, no matter what. This is a complimentary trip, all expenses paid, and these are our tried and true top performers across the board. This is a year unlike any other year. We had 363 quota carriers hit P Club. Congratulations. Sales leaders, we had 82. The rest of sales, we had 20. And we had some really nice balance across all of our regions as an overall percent of the reps, as you can see here. There are so many President's Club winners, as I mentioned, 363. We will not be able to say all of their names, but I know in many of your segment breakouts, you will all be acknowledging your big winners across the board. So congratulations to all of our President's Club winners. All right, Christian, I am really excited to talk about this next award. I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thanks so much, Michelle. So huge number of winners. Wow, we just had to spin through those quite quickly. We'll do a bit more in your local breakouts in your segmented regions too. But yes, our big reveal, the fourth award that we're introducing into SKO from now on is a HubSpot Hall of Fame award. You're probably familiar enough with the concept in things like, movies and sports and so on, where folks who are the most tenured, the folks who have put in massive success and accomplishment over a long tenured career are folks who are recognized as those that we want to put into a Hall of Fame and remember them forevermore, frankly. So we have the same concept here. And we look at folks who are in a role for a considerable amount of time, and then along that journey that just had this outstanding track record of accomplishment year after year and really been hitting the highs consistently for all that time. For anyone in their earlier part of their HubSpot career, you probably want to chat to these folks. They show you how to do it, and they've certainly led the way. We'll have a committee each year that will choose these, and on the right-hand side, you'll see what's part of the Hall of Famer. There is an incredible orange jacket. You will get an orange jacket that you can wear at company events. You can wear it socially. You can wear it at home, wear it with your friends. You can brag as much as you wish to say, I am a Hall of Famer. I think that's pretty cool. There's a plaque we will have in HQ with your name on it, so you will get you'll be famous and you'll have that for forevermore. And then finally, there's an RSU award, which we'll come back to you once you get the RSUs closed off. So some really good stuff in here too. So without further ado, who are our inaugural Hall of Famers? Here we go, and lots of you are on this call. Congratulations, brilliant, massive achievement to Adam, Catherine, Dan, Dave, Andrew, Sharon, Olivia, Ian, and Steve. You can see underneath each person's name their tenure and some of the achievements they've had. It's just world class. This is absolutely amazing. We're thrilled for you all. Congratulations entering HubSpot's Hall of Fame to all of you. Alrighty, we will keep going now that our awards are done. I have the pleasure of presenting this as well. And this is, I touched on earlier on, our 3-year sales strategy for sales and how we're thinking about the direction of sales over the next few years. I want to go into a bit more detail and share it through with you today. Our mission is simple and the same. We're still going to be the #1 CRM platform companies, and everything I talk about is to help us along that journey. And maybe just as a frame up, it just give you a sense of how this came about and some of the things that went into the thought process. We've an increasingly sophisticated product set, and the goal is to deliver that to the market and to customers, but in a most beautiful and simple way. That's not an easy thing to achieve. Customers and prospects at the same time have this changing dynamic of wanting a technology-based interaction and a human interaction, and how to best marry those two things together for our buyers. And then lastly, we have this huge opportunity ahead of us. And how do we go fast and scale in a way that we can grow and scale our business and enter the markets and take advantage of the opportunity that lies ahead? So what did we come up with? We've got a 4-part strategy, which I touched on earlier on. First is how we think about the bimodal motion. I'm going to unpack these slide by slide in a moment. But there's a lot of talk of what does it mean to be bimodal in sales? And we have 2 huge responsibilities and just really important deliverables for the business. Is we have to find a way to have this volume of customers dynamic of finding lots of new customers all around the world, every segment, every market, and find and bring those customers to HubSpot at scale. We'll talk about that again in just a moment. And then we also have this other dynamic of the upmarket, when we bring customers on to try and think about the value of each of those customers and finding ways and means to deliver value to them and extract value for us as well, and have value in our side of the equation too. So really, really important motions in our segmentation play. The selling experience and the motion we want here is to have this synonymous nature where people will say, HubSpot product is so crafted and so simple and so beautiful and easy to use. And by the way, when you deal with them through their marketing and sales and success, it's exactly the same. It's beautiful. It's so simple. It's so enjoyable. It's so intuitive. And frankly, we're not there today. So we're going to put a bunch of focus on getting to that point over the next few years. Third up is our remarkable culture. And that's all of you. This is a really key differentiator for us in the market. We are world famous for this. We want to cherish that, nurture it, and grow it, especially in this new hybrid environment, and how we think about enabling all of you to thrive in your roles, and our partners too. So this is GS, this is CAM, this is extending out to partners to deliver this wonderful experience. And last is scaling through automation. We're going to be scaling this business over the next few years. And I touched on this earlier. It's really figuring ways to enable all of you to do your job easier. Provide tons of automation and systems-based supports so you can do more by putting in less. And that's just to find those efficiencies for you. So let's unpack a little more. So again, the volume piece here is how we think about delivering against the company need, which is to go out and find as many customers and prospects as we can, bring them to HubSpot, help deliver value to them. But finding that high volume of customers, it's just so important all across the business. And this shows up from our VSB segments, small biz, mid-market, and corp, everywhere in partner and in direct as well. And you can see the column here just to give some more detail of how you might think, well, what does volume mean in terms of a sales role, in terms of my role as a rep, as a BDO, or as pre-sales, or a CAM? Well, you can see what the sort of definitional terms are here. We're talking about bringing in lots of customers. That's the key metric. Generally, this motion is going to be a smaller motion, high volume, slightly lower value. The deal type is going to be quite simple. The selling motion will be individual or automated. The product will be product-led, go-to-market predominantly. And again, the segments that are usually most synonymous here are VSB and small biz. So VSB being the new name for retail, and partners probably not as heavily involved down here. So you start to get an image of, okay, this is fast-moving, higher volume, and how we bring those customers on board. And then the value part is a different dynamic. And this is the other motion we think about, is it's the dollars per customer is more the orientation here. We're looking for some bigger customers. We're looking for a more complex deal. It's probably team selling environments. It's rep-led. And this, again, will be at the upmarket end of those customer types usually fit in that mid-market and corporate space. And there's a high requirement for partners, and high-value partners can bring. So throughout this, there's going to be some detail we'll unpack as we go along, but just to give you that sense of those are the two motions that are most interesting to us. And the customer-centric piece, let's talk about that. So there's 4 parts here. One is, how do we know what this is like? We have to map these journeys and understand, what is it like to deal with us today? What's broken or frictional, and what can we do to make that just so much easier? I'm going to do a bunch of work on that as well. The roles everybody plays. There's a lot of people interact with prospects and customers. So we'll start to really get into some good detail of what role each person plays between BDR, IC, rep, and partner and demand, the direct partner engagement and how that best works, and then working with CS and contract management on the install base. So we'll do a bunch of work in there. And we really want to make sure every time we hand off to the next person in the link or during that the experience, that it's with insight. So we're picking up where somebody else left off, and that's just that really nice experience too. Next up is figuring ways to work for the customer and deciding things that solve for the customer experience first and foremost. So speed, let's talk about QLs and SQLs. Let's route them quickly to the right person. Let's find ways to get fast response to those customers so they get a really great instant response. And then how do we find ways to intentionally get folks rotated to corp reps or partners for the higher those value-oriented deals? Let's do that as fast as we can as well. And last is this technology and systems piece that plays into all of this experience. And how can we find ways to leverage data better, better systems, better insight, and better leveraging of those system technology orientations just to help this experience flow much better as well. So that's that piece. The next. Okay, there we go. So the culture piece, how we sell is how we win. This is so important. There's lots in here. We're going to talk about the learning environment, your professional development, how we can help and support and put in investments and structures to really double down on all of your growth and enabling and supporting you to do your job better, both in role and then for your next role, and how you might think of your growth in HubSpot to the pots of paint Michelle described earlier on. There's lots of paths we have. I want to really invest in your growth professionally and personally and help you grow into the role. We're going to put a bunch of other things in place around culture build. We have a hybrid world we're in now. We want to invest in that too. We've got some really specific investments coming around that, just to try and build out your experience in role as well. So we want to have fun. We want it to be interesting, exciting. We want to do a lot of good stuff in there above and beyond what we're doing today. Alrighty. And then scaling through automation. I think this is such an important one. And there's a couple of really big things in here. I think one of the things we want to do is getting a better handle on data. So we have data today that we want to put into far better shape, much more accessible. But this really interesting data science layer, which is to take a lot of that heavy lifting out of your day. If I put myself in your seat and I'm a rep today, there's so many things I think are frustrating and difficult, and things where you have to do manual process, offline steps, and it's a hard lift and it's heavy yards. We want to try and make that so much easier for you, and we're committed to doing that. There'll be a lot of work here on propensity modeling, figuring out best ways to identify for lead flow, for good fits, for next actions, and just getting really smart about some of the data and systems that we have. We want to leverage those an awful lot better, and again, take a bunch of that lift out of your day and make things flow, make your life easier. We're committed over the next 3 years to figuring out a bunch of that. The other piece is then inside of 53. So we think about how we might start using our own systems better. There's so much, again, we want to do here. And I think it's just going to revolutionize the role of a GS, CAM, BDR, pre-sales, everybody in our organization, where we want to use AI and ML. So for all the data we're collecting, 53 should be like a deal coach for you, where it's dynamically suggesting to you actions or recommending things and saying, hey, look, based on that conversational intelligence of what the conversation just had, sounds like they mentioned integrations and migrations. Based on where your deal is at and the shape and size and type, you got to bring pre-sales in now, right? So let me kind of help you tag in the pre-sales rep. Or we're having a conversation trying to decide which partner to bring in, that all the back-end systems would know which partners are absolutely perfectly suited to that deal based on the configuration of the deal, the industry the customer's in, the type of migrations or integration they want to carry out, and the system's just helping and guiding and coaching you all the way through. And there's so much good stuff we're going to do in here as well. So loads of system stuff. There's a mountain of work happening behind the scenes, and we just really want to make sure you're aware of that. And we're going to have this far better environment for you and support on the systems. So how does this work with the rest of our three-year flywheel pillars? Well, I won't go into these in huge detail, but I did want you to know that for each of the segments, we've taken VSB, small business, mid-market, and corp. And for those in international direct who aren't segmented, we think of you as a mid-market orientation. We're getting just really clear and helping you understand what we expect. And I think this hasn't been as clear as we could have been. So if I'll just jump forward onto the small business one as an example, we'll start to really articulate that the way your business is shaped and the way we think of it is, it's mostly a volume business, but there is some value components there too. You are selling big deals in small biz at the high end of small business. So that's important. Mostly inbound with some outbound, and how we think about supporting those motions. It's rep-led. And then a really important one is the guiding principle we'll have is saying, for small business, really we should think of this as a multi-hub or suite-led environment, because the decision-making is a little more simple. It's usually one or not many decision makers. So shouldn't we position this up front to say, why not go multi-hub from the get-go? And what do we need to change about how we go to market, how we qualify to position multi-hub up front? And getting small business customers in a multi-hub is so good for them, so good for us, and it'll just flow to value for the customer and for us forevermore. So really interesting things, and how we might think about engaging with partners too. So we'll go through this in a bit more detail with you all in your different segment breakouts, but just want to share up a little of how we're thinking about this. So I'll jump past these if it's okay, just for a little bit of time, and we'll go back to this again in detail a little bit later on. Partners, massively important. My goodness, I mentioned it earlier on. Partners are so crucial to scaling our business as we move forward. CAM, CCs, and a bunch of other folks that are in this space are vital, and all the partners are going to be absolutely vital to selling and servicing and scaling. So I'm going to just focus on selling here, and we'll talk about servicing in other forums. But from the sales point of view, there's two massively, massively important things partners will be doing for us. There's the partner source piece where partners can access parts of the market we simply cannot access as a direct only organization. So partners are really, really important, be it specific industries, the networks and connections that they have, the services they can deliver that we can't. So partners will go, and our whole goal here will be to orient partners in the right place and say, can you please access the market pieces we can't? And how do we help and support partners to do that efficiently and effectively and go bring us business from those parts of the market? That's massively, massively important to grow our business. And the other is the role they play in accelerating our own direct business. So again, we have this really incredible growth on the different side of the business where partners are coming in on deals that are generated or started on the direct side of the house, and it's helping us win so many more of those deals, increasing the value of them and the speed and the conversion and deal rate that we're getting on that side of the house. So some brilliant partnership, and partners in this is going to be just so vitally important as well. Country real quick. We are thinking of country through the lens of how we might think of what we need to win in each market. So accelerated growth markets, be you in NAM, in Canada, in US or Canada, if you're in France, Germany or UK, the orientation of how do I win, and I need a plan that's fit for market, will move in that direction. So AG countries, accelerated growth, we're going to have customized go-to-market sales plans. In the steady growth markets, we'll have a degree of customization, not as much as an accelerated. That's an intentional play. And then in efficient growth markets and parts of EMEA and LATAM, we'll keep that consistent, keep that simple. We don't want to have too many flavors of go-to-market, so we'll have some customization at the AG and steady growth, and then the rest we'll keep it quite consistent. But we'll start to move in that direction. I think it's really, really important for all my international friends listening. I know this is really important. And the things we're working on are below the line here as well, of how we might customize some of our go-to-market and how we think about those components. So some really big stuff coming. I'll leave you with this as a final slide. Over the next few years, there's lots and lots of things we're going to do across 22, into 23, into 24. 22 is really explicit. A lot of stuff is in motion already, and we've got a bunch of plans executing. There's a bunch of things happening now for 23 and 24. We're getting ahead. So it's phenomenal. I hope you feel as excited as I do. We've got a 3-year perspective. We know what's coming. We know what we need to do. We're laying the foundations now. We're working with RPG now. We're getting investment now. We're getting resources allocated now for the 3 years ahead. And just to build this thing out and be ready to help and support you all, just absolutely smash goals and help you do so much better over the next few years. So that's it. Thanks so much. I think I will hand back to Michelle, who's going to give us a sneak peek of what's coming in 2022.
Awesome. Thank you, Christian. So Christian just walked us through the 3-year sales strategy. And part of a 3-year vision is really taking some steps in the near term. So I'm going to walk you through what next year look like, where our big plays are in 2022, how we're taking a step forward towards that vision, and most importantly, how we're going to set you up to have an absolutely incredible year. So we have lots of exciting things coming up in 2022. Christian mentioned this in the flywheel kickoff, but we really have 3 core focuses as a global sales organization this year. The first is really re-accelerating our new business growth. The second is driving multi-hub selling in a really intentional way. And as Christian mentioned earlier, it's really that 3 plus hub motion. And then finally, investing in you. How do we really be best in class in the way that we invest and enable our sales talent? So in order for us to fuel growth, we need to focus on bringing in new customers. And as you heard in Flywheel Kickoff and in a little bit earlier today, our install base growth is really through the roof. And that's absolutely incredible. But not sure if you know this, 50% of our customers' lifetime value actually gets grown within that first year post-sale. So what that means is our install base growth isn't going to continue unless we continue to re-accelerate our new business growth. Now, our marketing partners have already shared, they have our backs and they're going to be delivering the demand that we need. But that doesn't mean that we don't need all of you. We're doubling down in some of our new business investments, which I'll share in just a moment, but we also need you all to lean into that proactive demand. We have an incredible database. We have a capacity that we're going to help you enable that much more, but we really need to be hyper-focused on continuing to bring in net new customers. When we talk about value selling, and especially multi-hub motion, what we want to make sure is that we are providing value for our customers. And the way that we measure that and our customer success team measures that is through value pairs. If you take a look at the Sales Hub and Marketing Hub combination, our customers enjoy 75% greater increase in their deals that are closed won. I mean, that's quite a stat for you to bring to your next sales call. If you take a look at Marketing Hub plus CMS Hub, our customers enjoy 80% more organic traffic. And then finally, Sales Hub plus Service Hub, and Service Hub is going to have a big year this year. We have 106% greater increase in deals closed won. Value pairs make a difference in our customer outcomes. But multi-hub is also how everyone realizes the most value with HubSpot. If you take a look at the lifetime value of our multi-product customers versus our single product customers, they have a 2.3x lifetime value to their time that they spend with us here at HubSpot. The reality is a multi-hub sale is better for our customers and it's better for you. This is where you really see the most success. And when we talk about you exuding less effort with higher return, multi-hub really is the path for you to do that. We know that the dollar per activity, if you take email, if you take a sales call, the dollar per activity for Marketing Hub plus Sales Hub versus Marketing Hub only is 1.5x times. You will just simply get more value out of all the activities that you have on a deal if you have a multi-hub combination. If you take the dollar per activity for multi-hub plus Sales Hub versus Sales Hub only, that's 2.2x. So if you want to spend less time with higher results, multi-hub is your path. Now, talent is the final and most important focus area for us this year and to focus on all of you. As we mentioned, we're making a lot of investments from an enablement perspective, from a compensation perspective, learning, development, professional development, and also improving the ratios that you receive from your manager as well as BDRs and your SE support. We want to make sure that we are setting you all up for success and that we're really invested in your growth. So let's dive a little bit deeper into some of those investments. On the first side, supporting our new business, we're going to be increasing our BDR investment across the board. 47% increase will happen in 2022 in our overall BDR headcount. Making those changes, we believe, is going to drive a 73% year-over-year increase in BDR MRR. We are so lucky to have our amazing BDRs who also fuel our sales organization, so we're really excited about that investment. The other one that many of you may not be aware of is an inbound demand management team. I love executing on pilots so that we can learn how we can grow more efficiently. An inbound demand management team, similar to our BDRs, they're going to work demand, but instead of proactive demand, they're going to be working some of our inbound demand so that we can lighten the load for some of our reps and we can see if we can get more efficient in the inbound lead management motion. You've heard this before. We are doubling down on our SE as well as solution architect coverage. We know that our deals that have SEs have higher close rates, higher ASPs. We're bringing technical expertise to our prospects and our customers, and we really want to make sure that we're improving those ratios so that we have more SEs and SAs on every single call. And then finally, marketing campaigns are going to be really aligned to a lot of our new business plays, especially as we lead with that multi-hub motion. So speaking of multi-hub and going a little bit deeper into those campaigns, one of the things we want to do this year in enabling all of you is to make sure that our marketing team and our go-to-market messaging really is in sync with how we sell. Our hubs together really provide a solution for our customers. And instead of having one hub plus one hub is better than just one, we want one hub plus another hub to be a true solution and for you to go to market enabled with how that solution better addresses our customers' challenges. Our Lighthouse team and our program, we're going to be expanding. We're going to improve double comp, and we want to continue to nurture our advocates and those amazing logos that help you all sell better. We're going to be doubling down on our sales specialists, investing more in CMS as well as our ops specialists, and we will be introducing our first ever Service Hub specialist. And then finally, we are going to really try to push the envelope up market with an up market explorers team who's really going to focus on finding a path to 100+ seat Sales Hub enterprise deals and really working that 1,000+ employee size. Investing in talent and investing in you. One of the things that we've heard, especially from the CAM organization, from our corporate team, our small business team, is that we haven't had intentional ramp paths that really speak to the various roles that we have here at HubSpot. So this year we will have role-based learning from our ramp paths, and that we will be doubling down on incremental learning for all of you that is really tailored to the roles that you have today. We're investing in more learning and content tools. We're getting even more from Seismic, and we're going to be introducing a tool called Lessonly. Manager enablement. This is one I'm really, really excited about. Our managers really are some of the most important roles that we have here at HubSpot. They're your coaches, they are your mentors, they're helping you with your career, but they also need product knowledge. They need forecasting knowledge. This is a year that we're really going to double down on our investment in our managers. We're going to have improved ratios. We're going to have that multi-hub training, like I mentioned, and Christian talked about it. Our commitment to an incredible sales culture is something that we really want to invest in this year. Last but not least, we want to continue to invest in our foundation. So Christian walked you through the path of where we really want to go over the next 3 years. But in 2022, these are some of the areas we really want you to feel a difference. From overall systems improvements to expanding our deal desk with 2x the staff. We're expanding our legal team. We're improving our RFP response team. And we're going to make product improvements, as you heard from Stephanie earlier. Across the board, we want to reduce noise and make sure that we can help you be more efficient in your day-to-day with less manual tasks and more focus on interacting with our customers. So, in ending this section here, and I'm about to pass it off to Christian, all of these investments mean we really have an exciting year of growth ahead. We are super excited in the success that we know that you all will have, and looking forward to crushing 2022 with you all. So Christian, I'm going to hand it over to you for our final thought.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Michelle. Really excited for all those 2022 investments. I get the pleasure and honor of closing us out with a final thought. Just before I do, a very quick mention to someone who sits behind the scenes, Aaron Zadalis, who has pulled so much work together to create this experience today, both across Sales Kickoff and Flywheel Kickoff in partnership with Archie Sharma. So thank you so much, Aaron, for all the work you've done behind the scenes. I want to give you that shout out. Alrighty, so I'm going to share a final thought today. It's interesting. There will be echoes of Jill Ellis in here, which is kind of a reassuring component because she was incredible to hear earlier on, and some of the things she talked about are threaded in here as well. So it's kind of a good reassurance for the final thought. So I want to have a hugely successful 2022. I hope every single one of you is thinking this right now. I hope that's your ambition, your intent, your desire to say, yeah, I'm going to absolutely smash the current year that's coming up, this 2022. I'm going to blow out my numbers. I really hope that's where you are. That is exactly what I want for you, Michelle wants for you, all the sales leadership wants. Actually, that's what Yamini and a few thousand other HubSpotters want for you as well. The entire company wants this sales team to have an amazing 2022. So it's pretty good to know. If you want to succeed, you have this army of people behind you, all want to help you succeed as well. So let's maybe, as a final thought, unpack a little bit of, okay, that's a great desire, but how can you think about the mechanics of success and some of the things that maybe are interesting seeds to have in mind as you plan your year ahead, as you get yourself set up to go and grab this year and succeed. So at the highest level, I think there's probably these two component parts I would think about is there's external factors and internal factors. And external here, I'm kind of categorizing it as the things that sit around you as an individual. So in our case, the market, our product, our competitors, even some of the systems and policies and things that all sit around you and things that affect your ability to do your role and your success and things that are in that context. Michelle's talked about some of those in terms of the investments we're making and our commitment to say, let's remove blockers, let's give you accelerators, let's find ways to help that environmental piece be as successful as possible for every single one of you. You're going to hear more about that in your breakouts, so I'll leave that to the breakout leaders to get into a bit more detail of how we're helping that external environmental piece. So for the final thought, I'm going to focus on the right-hand side, the internal part. And this is much more about how you act, react, behave, think about your situation, and things that are much more in your control, much more in your own hands. So you may know this person. This is a very famous educator and author and academic. It's Angela Lee Duckworth. Angela Lee Duckworth has done lots and lots of research over many, many years with a ton of other colleagues in academia to think about what is the driver of success. What are the things that are most correlated to successful individuals in life and in professional careers? And she has come to a conclusion that the single highest correlated factor is something called grit, which many of you I'm sure have heard before. And this is her book. I'd recommend it if you want a book to read. Grit isn't just, though, sometimes people think of grit as like it's be tough, be strong, and those sort of emotions. It's actually way more sophisticated than that. And I love the way she thinks of it as in these component parts. It's having passion and perseverance for long-term goals. And it's this concept I'm going to unpack a little bit today as well. So let's go with long-term goals first. The reality is big things take time. That is a universally true statement to make about anything that's big and meaningful and important or interesting. You do need a goal. You should set a goal, and that's a personal thing for you. So your own personal goal could be that you see for a 1 year goal, a 3 year goal, 5, maybe even longer than that. But each of you has a personal perspective what that horizon definition of long-term is. Set it for yourself, get really clear on that goal, and then convert the goal into a plan. And this is, I think, where HubSpotters excel. And many of you do this. It's a bit of a reminder here to say, be specific, write it down, have a goal, have a plan, make it personal, and make sure you've got that really, really clear for the year ahead and beyond, or what role this year might play in that longer term goal if it's more than a year. Passion is the next one. Passion is absolutely the fire that burns. Passion is the thing that really drives all those components of how we think about engaging and doing above and beyond efforts, the things that go the extra mile. Passion for me is really rooted in that personal connection. And this piece is really having a strong sense of your mission, your purpose, and your why. Knowing what your mission is, and I think we've articulated the HubSpot mission over the course of a number of different kickoffs. Hopefully that resonates with you and you can understand the role you play in delivering that and the value you have and the purpose you have. And throughout all these kickoffs, hopefully you've gotten the message that this is much more than just numbers. This is about people and people's lives. This is about customers and prospects. It's your own growth, your own families, and it's all of your own success and your customer's success and your colleague's success as well, and how you might think about those. So having that passion, really knowing those component values is a really, really important part here as well. And third up is perseverance. And I could guess what you're thinking. You're probably saying, oh man, this one isn't really the most fun, the perseverance piece. And maybe because it comes straight after passion, that could be it. But the perseverance is that concept of showing up continuously. And it is a sense of how do you think about achieving day after day after day and putting in the work and showing up in a way where you're driving your success. And here's the secret. Perseverance may not be as fun or wildly exciting as passion as side-by-side concepts, but perseverance is by far the biggest determinant. It's the biggest ingredient by far that determines who succeeds and who doesn't. Passion is amazing, and having passion will get you started, it'll get you through tough moments, it'll add fuel, but passion only gets you so far. Perseverance is the true secret of success, and perseverance is synonymous with excellent execution. A lot of times you think about this in the world of sports and work and personal environments. This is about the small details, and Jill talked about this in her conversation with Sasha. It's the small things that make a world of difference. This is wanting to be better today than you were yesterday, better tomorrow than you are today, and every single day building and building and building and building. And the reason I show the Olympic medals here is most of you will know this fact, but every medals ceremony in the Olympics for the last many championships, the difference between somebody winning a medal and somebody not winning a medal is less than 1% in every single event in the Olympics, often much less than 1%. And it's a tiny gain, it's a tiny difference. And Olympians will spend 4 years just trying to be 1% or less than 1% better than everybody else in your competition. They eat, diet, sleep, all the things they do every single day for 4 years, day after day after day. It is incredible levels of perseverance. It's incredible margins and tiny components that make all the difference. And it is the quintessential definition of excellent execution. They don't give up for any one single day. They make sure that every single time they focus on what needs to be done and do the right thing time after time after time. So how does that show up in our world? We're not Olympians, at least I'm not, but it shows up in our world through another piece that was mentioned in the thread I saw in the FKO Slack room. James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, another great book if you're interested in reading this one, he talks about this and frames it beautifully about the idea of these tiny gains and the power of tiny gains. There's a downside and an upside to this tiny gains or tiny losses concept. The upside here, which I'll focus on, is if you can get 1% better at something each day, just 1% every day for a full year, by the end of the year, you'll be 37 times better at that thing. These small, insignificant moments of, well, will I try and do that thing slightly better? It is mind-blowing how much better you can be and how much higher you can succeed and more attainment and all things we all want for each other just by taking care of the little things. I will say it again, it's excellent execution. It's focusing on the details, the small things, and making sure those things happen the way they should. So the power here is absolutely phenomenal of this tiny gain. So putting it back together really quick is having this goal. Set your goal, be clear, get it down, get it clear for yourself personally. Fuel the passion, light your fire, associate and attach yourself with your purpose and mission. Make sure you're clear on that and you've got that heart of yours is burning and on fire with passion. Love that concept. And then lastly, the small detail, the excellent execution, the tiny things that add up to making enormous differences. If you keep these things all in alignment, I think you're going to have an absolutely incredible year. And that is my message to you today. So I will finish out just by saying, I've said this lots of times to anyone who listened to me, this is by far and by a country mile the best sales team I've ever had the pleasure and honor of working with. I think you just blow my mind all the time. And I think I speak for Michelle and other sales leaders too when I say that. It's incredible, the performance. I think the heart and character and spirit of this team, it's just absolutely amazing. It does warm the heart when I get to work with you all the time, every day. So thank you so much for 2021. Thanks for listening today. I wish you every success, every single one of you in 2022. Happy selling, good luck, and have an amazing 2022. Thank you all.